Yo, what's up, friend? What's up, family? This is Jay again, guys. Today we're going to check what we're gonna do with this pair tomorrow. This Chief JPY. So, Chief JPY is the pair that most of people like to trade. Beside gold, GBP USD, Euro USD, USD JPY, and most of traders like to trade this pair beside GBP JPY as well. But today we're going to see what we're gonna do with this pair tomorrow. So let's start from 4 hours time frame and see. Guys, we're going to break down everything and see what we're going to do with this pair tomorrow. Either we're going to buy it or we're going to sell it. We don't know what's going to happen. So without wasting our time, let us start to find out what we're gonna do with this pair tomorrow. So, as you can see from my chart, I'm going to start by drawing trend line and see what we going to do, right? So this is what I can draw from 4 hours time frame. So now we're going to go ahead and check from 2 hours and see what we're going to do with this pair if we use this 4 hours, 2 hours time frame. So obviously you can just draw whatever you want, right? You can just add any trend line that you want to add, but those trend lines are not valid. Let's go to 1 hour time frame and see what we're going to do with this pair tomorrow, because we are going to make something. For sure, to be honest, we're going to make something out of this pair. So now, here's the picture. This is the full picture that I wanted to show you about, right? If you just go back to 4 hours time frame, you're gonna see something like this, right? You will see something like this. So now you can just draw a trend line from this side, right? Can you see how beautiful it is? This trend line is super beautiful trend line that everyone can like, can love to use, and is clear and clean, is visible to everyone. I hope so. So we're going to start by this 4 hours time frame. As you can see, their time frame shows. First of all, what we're going to check, we are looking for a breakout, right? So now, as you can see, so far market has been showing us higher high, higher high, high low, higher high, high low. Now we're going to start by counting how many times that market tried to reach to our trend lines. From below, you can see it just touched 3 times. When it goes above, we count this and we count on this. So which means when they comes on this side for 3 times, they fade. Bulls, the buyers, they fade to push market up to touch 3 times, so we can have draw. So when it touches 1, 2, 3 from below and 3 from above, it just confuses us because we don't know and we don't understand what's going to be a next movement, right? But when it touches one side 3 times, on other side twice, it gives us a good picture of thinking what's going to happen, right? So now these are 4 hours time frames. You can see when market comes to touch for the 3rd time, it breaks trend line, right? You can see there's some sort of candle, 2 candles that goes under the trend line. So this has the meaning. There is a meaning. There is a reason why market did that. But right now we don't know why or what we're gonna do. What we're going to do is to just mark our last previous resistance, right? We're going to mark previous resistance, right? And then we're going to mark previous supporter, which is this. I hope you understand, or you see what I mean, right? So now guys, I want you to see something. There's something that I want you to see. From here, market went up and touch that trend line and comes down, touch this number 2 from above, and this is number 3 from below, right? So here's where there's a trick, right? So when you just check when the market started forming a higher high, you can see it comes here, it just acted as if it created resistance. Let's call it strong resistance. For that time it pretended to create strong resistance, so market went down. What we were expecting here was market to come and touch trend line for third time, so we can expect a breakout. Now market didn't touch the trend line for third times, it went back up. When it reached this side, remember it created resistance, it breaks resistance, right? I mean, it breaks resistance as if market is going to come back maybe and touch above for third times, or after breaking it's gonna retest back this level and go up. So now after breaking here, what's funny, it just comes back straight forward and break the same resistance, right? Its break is going up. When it went there, it created another resistance, which is valid resistance, and then from there it comes down and breaks this and touched for third time trend lines. And it's not just like that. After touching it, it even breaks down. You can see below trend line there's two candles, right? So now what you are expecting from there, what you are expecting is that this was false break, right? Since went up and didn't touch here, we consider this as the bulls. They failed to push market to break this trend line, so we can figure out what's going to be next. So now in this case, what we're going to do, for the sellers who like have a big capital, what they are going to do, let's find out what's gonna be next move, right? So now as you can see, when the bulls failed to push market, you can see they pushed the market with the power. From here you can see the market were creating the strongest candlesticks, the bigger one, fatty one, and the longer. You can see what happened when they come to this side. Now they started losing power. That's where the sellers started trying to jump in the market. So what shows us that the bulls has lost power is that the sellers started to create, market started to create the strongest candles ever. When the market comes here was in indecision, but then it created a bigger and stronger candlestick to break the market, to break the trend line. Already trend line is been broken. What we are expecting for is to see the next move. So this was 4 hours time frame. Let's jump to 2 hours time frame and see what's happening there. All right guys, so this is now 2 hours time frame. Let's start by drawing trend line the same way we did from 4 hours time frame. Here is trend line. We have our trend lines here, beautiful trend lines. So what happened, you will realize that what happened from 4 hours time frame is the same thing that happened to 1 hour, to 2 hours time frame, right? So let me just use this side so chart can be visible. Let me just throw it above the chart so it can be visible. So now if we count how many touches the market that touched below trend line, we will realize that it touched 3 times. When we count above, it's 1 and second. So now market did the same thing that I was telling you about. Let me Let me just repeat this again. When market goes from this side, you can see when it was here, obvious it created resistance. Let me just use this. Yes, resistance. The same way it just created it somewhere here. It's easy to understand how market creates levels and zones. You can see this was the supporters that market created, right? Yeah, this is the previous supporter. So now when market created this resistance, this one is the same way it created this. So now what's the question here? The question is, when the market created this resistance, we expected it to come back straight and touch trend line for third time. Now it didn't touch trend line, it just created support somewhere here and then it went above. So now since it went above, we expected market to push and break this trend line. So what it is, it went and breaks the resistance, previous resistance. After breaking it, we expected it to go higher and maybe touch resistance, but it didn't do that. It just reached this level and then comes back down and break again here and come to break trend line, which is considered that market has created now the really this was the really resistance. The first one was fake, was not valid. So now what is going to be next move after market has breaks our trend line? What's going to be next move? We're going to consider this as a strong resistance, right? After considering this as a strong resistance, we're going to look for previous supporter. So previous supporter was this, and previous resistance was this, which was not valid. So now here is where the next entry is. Next entry is going to be from this, right, where it breaks trend line from, maybe to come down and to create support somewhere else here, and then from there market is going to sell. It's going to come against uh, this supporter after breaking it, and then we are okay to sell for 2 hours, and our first TP will be here. You can count how many pips you will have. What's this now? Okay, it's fine. So now second take profit will come to this level, and then you are okay to close, or you are okay to watch market movement. So this was for you guys who had a good capital, who had a good money, to hold the market from this time frame. So we're going to go ahead now and check what's happening from maybe 30-minute time frame. So this is 30-minute time frame chart, right? I hope it's visible from everyone. So we're going to go ahead and draw our trend line and see what our trend line says, what our trend line talks about. You can see that we have beautiful, clean and clear trend line. So we're going to analyze how so guys, from here, now what we're going to do, we're going to check how market is been moving from here to this side, to this side, this side and this side, until it breaks here. So the thing we realize is that market has been touching below trend line the second, this third touch. When it goes above, it touched it from here this second time. We expected it to go up, maybe touch it for third time, but it didn't happen. So why and what's behind of this trick? We're going to go ahead and check after touching third time here what happened previous, right? So what happened previously is that market has formed resistance somewhere here, and it formed now support somewhere here. So now we're going to delete this straightforward. Now we are getting a picture of what we're going to do, right? So now after market created this resistance, we knew that it's going to come down, maybe retest here, maybe, and maybe come and touch here for daytime, so it can go up to retest level resistance and come to breakdown, but it didn't do that. Instead, it started from resistance and comes down. It didn't touch our trend line. It went back up. We thought maybe it's going to break here and go and touch this trend line. Maybe it breaks it, but didn't do that. It went up. When it reached this level, it just turns back, which is where it got power to come and break this trend line. So now what is behind this, right? We're going to check what's going to happen tomorrow. What's going to happen tomorrow? Let me start by drawing my trend lines again. I'm not gonna wasting time to draw them nicely. I hope you can see them and you understand what's happening. Yeah, this is our trend line. So we were talking about support and resistance market has created here and here. All right, and this is what's going on. Yeah, this is the previous supporter, this is the previous resistance. So when the market comes from this side, we expected it to touch here, so we can have expectation, but it didn't touch this. It went up. When it went up, we expected it to touch the trend lines, but didn't. Instead, it comes down straight and break trend line. So what are we expecting now? What are we expecting is that the market is going to sell because it gives us a valid resistance that breaks this. This is no longer valid. So now what we are looking for here after market breaks this is maybe to come back down a little bit and go back and then comes back down to break this and retest, and then here we go. So which means clearly from 30 minutes to 1 hour, 2 hours and 4 hours, we have a clear and clean sell, which is what you're gonna check if maybe 15 minutes responds to this, because it's not everyone who can afford to trade in a bigger time frames. Let us think about people who had small account, maybe $50. Yeah, the same trend line is still there, is still valid, right? It's still showing us that our market has been testing it from because it's been touched 3 times, you can see. So when it goes above, market has touched that trend line twice. So now what we're going to do, we're going to wait for the market, as we saw this from previous time frames. We're going to wait for the market to break this, right? After market breaking this, as we saw that this was the previous uh, supporter. That's where we're waiting for market to come down and break it. So for you guys who had a bigger lot size, I mean bigger capital, you can still enter somewhere here. If market will manage to just go below and retest this and come down, you can still enter. But for you who have a small account, it is better to wait for the market to come down and break this and then retest it, and then from there you're free to go, right? Because if you have a big account, it's easy to understand that whatever market we do from there to this side, if it does retest to this level, maybe gives you 30 to 40 pips, your account will afford to hold it. But for small account, they're not gonna afford to hold that pullback. But if you have small account, it's better to wait for the market to break this, because this is the previous support that market must break. Then from there you're going to go ahead and just sell. So how are you going to take your take profit? How are you going to get your take profit? So just start by creating this or following this, right? And then second thing is to know where you will take your entry from, which is below this that we called support. And then check the previous lower low. The previous lower low was this, which is now was considered as supporter, and the second previous lower low was this. So now we're going to go ahead and see how we're going to take our take profits from 15-minute time frame, and how we're going to put our stop loss. So now, since market is still showing us that is under the trend line, after trend line, obvious market, when it will change direction completely here, it will just set something like a weak resistance here, which is gonna give you a place to put your stop loss. Your stop loss must be here, all right. And then your first TP is going to come here. TP1 is going to be to this level, and then TP2 is going to be here. Second TP is going to be to this level, and then you are free to go. It doesn't mean that market is not gonna go down further. It will, because in bigger time frame it shows that market is gonna sell longer. So this can be third TP if you want. So after hitting your second TP, you can just protect your profit, and then you just let market go. Since this is 15-minute time frame, I'm sure that we're going to make a good cash from this pair. So guys, now here we have 20 minutes. I think I didn't want this video to go more than this, but since it happened, then it happened. I have nothing to do. What I'm going to do is to just close from here and wait what's going to happen tomorrow. So this is our entry and this is supporter, guys. So thank you guys for watching this video. I wish you all the best. I know that tomorrow we are going to make a good money from this pair. So if it's your first time to come across this YouTube channel, just go ahead and click subscribe button and like and share, so you can be #1 to get a notification whenever we just drop something.